that Simone Biles has now pulled out of the individual all-around final in Tokyo. This is following the USA Gymnastics tweeting the statement saying that she will continue to be evaluated daily to determine whether or not to participate in next week's individual event finals. Yesterday, she withdrew from the women's team final and said it was all down to her mental health and how she needed to now focus on that. She said that mental health is more prevalent in sports right now, that we have to protect our minds and our bodies and not just go out and do what the world wants us to do. And Trevor, we touched on it at the top, but it's been a busy morning already for us. Simone Biles, a lot of people critical of that decision that she's made, but a lot of people are equally fully supporting her decision and fully aware that we are living in a world now where we have said we need to speak out, we need to reach out, we need to have conversations constantly with whether it's friends, family, loved ones, whatever, because we know that mental health is a big issue and it's a rising issue amongst all generations now.
It is, Natalie, and from my own experience as a coach at my academy, we've had a few situations where boys have suffered from depression or anxiety, and it's becoming more regular. And I think the pandemic is certainly playing its part. I feel in a good place and well positioned to be able to help them young people come through that with the experiences that I've had in my life, with the coaching badges that I've taken, so that I make sure that the door's always open, make sure that they always feel comfortable, that they can come and tell you things that they're not feeling right about, and make sure that that conversation is always remind the players, if you've got any problems, come to us, private message us, pull us for a chat. We're always here. And we've got 3 different coaches at our academy. Andy Buckingham, he's done 30 years as a teacher, so he's from a slightly different background to me and Jamie Milligan, who are both from professional football environment. But I think when you don't know anyone's story just by looking at them, and everyone looks at Simone and thinks, wow, superwoman, and she's an inspirational athlete. She's got technical
moves.
She's
the poster girl, isn't she, for Team USA?
Technical moves in gymnastics that have been named after her. That's how technical and that's how brilliant she is. But actually, when you look a little bit deeper and you look at her life, she was fostered as a young child. Yeah. She's been sexually abused by Larry Nassar, who I think he's doing 134 years in prison for sexually abusing many girls in the US gymnast scene. And she's already shown an incredible amount of personality and resilience and character. I mean, we should be adoring her for what she's achieved, because, for what she's been through, she shouldn't have even made it as a professional athlete. And what she's achieved in the game, I mean, 27 gold medals. She's won 4 Olympics, 19 World Championship medals. I mean, this woman is phenomenal. She's 24 years old. She's still a young woman. And for what she's achieved after what she's been through, wow.
She is the most decorated American gymnast. As I was mentioning, she's the poster girl for Team USA. She's the poster girl for US gymnastics because of everything that she has achieved in the sport. And, year on year, she's always been at the top of her game. She's even suffered injuries, let's not forget. So we've always been lauding her successes. And now it's time to laud her for being brave and open about her mental struggles. I
don't understand this though, Nestle, because when you get a hamstring injury, you'll get treatment for that hamstring. The physio will get some ice on it, stop the blood flow. You'll rest it so it can recover and heal. Then you'll start doing some strength and conditioning before you start doing light jogging, and then you go into some sprinting and more physical and explosive stuff. Why is the same not about your brain? Why do we not look at the brain as an injury, as an ailment, where if that's not right, and actually it's the most important one, because if your brain and your head's not right, the performance won't come. So it's the most important asset that we've got, but also it can be incredibly debilitating, because if your brain's not right, you're not going to be able to perform.
I completely agree with you, Trevor, and you speak so well on it. And when you think about her life being under the microscope as it has been for such a long time, and being that most decorated American gymnast, it's crazy to think that we would be sitting here and not sometimes expect someone like that to have moments of struggle.
You'd be surprised if they didn't.
Absolutely, exactly. And I think it's incredibly brave. And there's a book I wanted to just highlight called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. I don't know if you've read it, Trevor. It is a wonderful book, and it's something I read with my son. And it has lots of wonderful messages in it. And one of the messages is, "What's the bravest thing you have ever said?" asked the boy. "Help," said the mole. And I think that is perfectly right and sums up this situation with Simone Biles. And, when you're looking at the clickbait of Piers Morgan and what he's been saying on this situation, he clearly knows nothing about sport.
Well, I think that's
and being a
It's
competitor.
his lack of understanding, lack of empathy, lack of understanding of where she could be.
Yeah. Well, what we want to know then from you, the listeners, this morning is where you stand on this situation with Simone Biles. Do you have sympathy for her, or do you expect all our sporting champions to just always be mentally tough and overcome any hurdle? You can call us on 08717 223344 to have your say. You can text us at 81089.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.